So welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. President Sheila has asked me to stand in today for her. So this is a new experience for me, and I've gotten a lot of support from the entire team. So, Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice. Thank you, Jeff. So we have our songsters. There you are.
Have to advance this.
Go for it.
All right, you're doing good so far. Okay, you're in the middle, you're the little guy.
Hi, folks. Well, our special guest will be talking about Las Positas College, so we had to have a school-oriented song today. So this is Wonderful World by Sam Cooke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this could be. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know what slide rule is for. But I do know what it one is two. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this could be. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. Well, maybe by being an A student, baby, I could win your love for me. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Yeah, well done. Wonderful. Okay, thank you very much.
So, Christian, thought for the day.
When people sneeze, we'll say, bless you. And when people die, we'll say, rest in peace. What do those three words really mean? Just imagine a congregation of 500 in a church on your last day. And there's a coffin right there in the middle, and that is you in the middle, in the coffin. If you could rise up from that coffin and hear the eulogies, what people are saying about you, about your life, your legacy, what you've done with your life, are you truly resting in peace? or are you not resting in peace? And when finally you are in your grave, whatever that may look like for you, it could be a real grave or it could be a small little box or container of ashes in your wife's bedroom, your husband's bedroom, your son's bedroom, or grandkids' bedroom, little box of ash, and that is you inside. Are those ashes resting in peace? If that's a real grave, are the bones in that grave rattling, or are they resting in peace? That is why you need to sit down and really take a good inventory of your values in life. And I only mean, just like goal setting, if you don't write them down, it never happens. Those are dreams. Sit down with somebody and write down your values. What's your life's purpose? Why are you here on earth? Do you know why you're here on earth? Have you a crystallized vision of your life, what your life means for people around you, for Rotary, for the world at large? What does your life mean? Why are you here? If you have a crystallized vision, just like the brother of Walt Disney said, when your values are clear, your decisions are easy. So clear your values, clear your thinking, and sit down and write them down. I guarantee you, when you do that, you're going to wake up every morning. People wonder why you're so happy, why you're smiling every day. Because you're living life on a purpose. You are living life the way life should be. It doesn't matter what people do to you. It bounces off. You don't worry. Nothing bothers you because you know whenever you wake up, you're making a difference in people's lives. You are living your values. You look at that. And finally, when you're laying down in that grave, in that coffin, just like John Shirley at the lab with 500 and all the eulogists coming around, if you could rise up and hear what they're saying, you will like what you hear. And you truly resting in peace, whatever that may be for you. It could be in heaven, it could be anywhere. But do those three words mean something for you? I challenge you today, go home, write down your values, and you will live a life without regrets. I salute you all.
Thank you, Christian. Next up, meeting front line, we have our Spur reporter, Linda Stanford. Linda here today. Linda, there you are. Spur publisher, Kathy Coyle. Ted Michaels. Ted, I saw you a few minutes ago. There you are. Joel Swanson. Joel has helped me out immensely the last several days. Thank you, Joel. And Trish Monroe, our greeter. Are you still out there, Trish? Great, good. We're still waiting for our speaker today. I think he'll arrive. He's here. Dr. Foster, great to have you here today. We've been looking forward to this. Okay. Frontliners, Trex Donovan, Sergeant at Arms, Bob Bishop, Sergeant at Arms. I won't do the Sheila thing quite the way she does it, but thank you for being here. Kathy Coyle, Web Maven, serving in several roles here, and Kelly Bowers, our public outreach specialist. Is Kelly here today? Oh, great. So introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. Do we have a roving mic? Great. Thank you, Linda.
Any visiting Rotarians online?
We'll save the big introduction for Dr. Foster. Right. Yes.
I'm pleased to introduce Dan Bergman, who a lot of you already probably know. And you'll find out a little more in just a minute or two about Dan.
Michelle, yes, Michelle Kleeman is technically still a guest. As of next week, she'll be a member evidently. But Michelle,
I'd like to introduce my wife, Joan Sepola, published of the Independent for 40 years and going, 60 years and going strong, and my wife for only 40 years.
Announcements. I think Norm, you would like to come up and make a presentation. I think Norm has a check for someone.
I know Sheila was prepared to do this, and we're very pleased to give support to Dan Bergman for his project on the planetarium, which is being also supported by Livermore Valley Joint District as well as the foundation. And this is the last of it that will complete all the money he needs to make it happen. If you would come up, Dan. He'll speak a couple of words to let you
So,
know what
yeah.
he's doing.
Yeah, so for the last 10 years or so in retirement, I've been taking a portable planetarium to the school, different elementary schools in the school district. The last couple years, I've done every elementary school, 2,500 students each year. So it's a big deal. The planetarium is getting old. Parts of it are 10 and 20 years old. And so this money is going to replace the planetarium. Last thing I'll say before I step down is I think you guys, as you pass out money, seriously, you need a metric to measure how well your money is being spent as you support projects like this. And for the planetarium, I have a metric. I have a metric, and I'm going to be able to look in the future and know what my impact is on this community. And so for the last 10 years, I've had practically every fifth grader in the city of Livermore make me a promise. All right. And so they've promised me when they get older, if they have children, they're going to be naming, if they have children and if they have twin boys, they'll be naming their boys Phobos and Deimos after the moons of Mars. And so that's my metric for success.
Okay, birthday. Oh,
An
Glenn.
announcement if I cleared this with Sheila. Hi, everybody. Glenn Kubiak here. So we are having Quest's annual sort of marquee event on April 13th, the Quest Tri-Valley Innovation Fair. It's being held from 10 o'clock in the morning until 5 p.m. And we could really use some help in getting set up, in helping people find their way around the site and so on. It's a ton of fun. We're going to have 80 exhibitors from all over the Tri-Valley, from large companies like Chevron, Clorox, Stanford Tri-Valley Healthcare, of course, the labs, 10X Genomics, Monarch Tractor, and so on. And we'll also have nonprofits and robotics clubs. Ton of fun for families, kids, kids of all ages, including all of us. Lots of hands-on activities. Dan's going to be there with his planetarium. So if you want, and you have to go see this. Shout out to Dan. So I'm going to send out a sign-up form so we could really use your help. Sign up for a 3-hour shift if you can. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your help.
Hello. Birthdays and anniversaries for the month of April. We'll start with birthdays. If you're here, stand up. Dave has some cookies that look like the eclipse in case you miss it on Monday. That's about all we're going to see of it anyway. Vern Green, his birthday was April 1st. Nope. Matt Fusey, April 8th. Okay, we're going to have extra cookies. Susan Mayall, April 9th. Yay! Woo! Christine Lusty, April 14th. Nope. Kathy Young, April 15th, tax day. And Randy Schlintz, April 22nd. Okay. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay. All right. Now, anniversaries. And by the way, my husband had knee replacement 3 weeks ago tomorrow. And so if he gets to you slowly, just be gentle. Okay. Kelly Bowers and Robert Bowers, 27 years. What? Oh, sorry, I can't get her flowers. Bob and Karen Cowan, 59 years. Oh, I thought that was your age. Chuck Hartwig and Kariba. Okay. And Kathy and Clark Streeter. Okay, well. And then last, Gowd and his wife, Kayla, 64 years.
So when you get home tonight, for those people having anniversary, this is what you have to sing, okay? Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? I say, hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could find us a brand new recipe? I got a hot rod cord and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill where soda pop and the dancing is free. So if you want to have fun, come along with me. I say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up again? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up with me?
Paul Schmidt.
Okay, you guys should be able to hear me on the system. Just reminding everyone, the rodeo parade is June 8th. We're looking for sponsors to help pay for the parade. 4/5 of the money used to pay for the parade comes from sponsors, 1/5 comes from the entrance. So we need help to fund the parade, and we eventually are gonna need a bunch of help to put on the parade. So Kathy tells me by Monday, there'll be some stuff on our website, so you can make a donation to the parade, and eventually be able to have any groups that you know be in the parade. I will be starting next week saying, do you know anyone who wants to be in the parade? And then probably the week after that, I'm gonna try to get you all to come and help with the parade. So save the date, June 8th, rodeo parade. Thank you.
And Dowd, are you ready to come up and say a few words about Polio Plus?
Greetings, good afternoon. Well, actually, Brian Mayall or Patrick are the better qualified to talk about this than I am, but I'll do the best I can. So we got a presentation from our District 5170 on update on the Polio Plus. And so I'm going to run through this quickly. Rotary has been working for more than 30 years to eradicate polio worldwide through the Global Polio Plus program. Since 1988, with the help of various other organizations, we reduced the polio cases by more than 99% from an estimated 350,000 cases in 1988 to just 12 reported cases in 2023. And there is a tremendous amount of the support to eradicate the polio plus. And Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation matches, I believe is 2-for-1 of all of the donation that comes in. And they donated $1.2 billion. And you can see Rotary International contributed 150 million and so on. Oh, you're way ahead of me. Go back. There you go. So while this, as of 20th March 2024, we have 2 cases remaining, came down from 12 in 2023. But the work is not done because for Rotary and our partners, 20 million people can walk today who would otherwise be paralyzed. 1.5 million childhood deaths were prevented. But polio is still ready to erupt. It still circulates in small numbers. It can spread easily from its hiding places to anywhere in the world. It can still infect unvaccinated. We must continue to vaccinate, even in difficult parts of the world. We must monitor for outbreak. We must improve public health resources. How do we finish the job? Donate online at myrotary.org/donate, donate by check, and join the Polio Plus Society. And we will email you the 2 forms. I don't have time to go over that explains District 5170 Polio Plus Society. Join the Polio Plus Society by committing to contribute 100 or more every year until polio is eradicated. And we'll send that form to every one of you. And thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Gowd. And our club has been very generous throughout the years in donating to Polio Plus. And I'm sure you'll continue to do so after being inspired by Gowd's comments. And so, Carol Gerich, are you available to come up? There you are. So a number of us had the pleasure of joining Carol. You want to come up or
Oh, no,
you've
well,
got
I'm
the
just
mic? Good. Take
yeah,
it away.
Pat and a bunch of others of you joined us last Thursday and sorted 1,000 books for 11 schools. It was a lot of fun, although we came up a few books short, but now we're okay. I want to tell you that it starts this coming Wednesday, a week from today. We still need some people to go to the schools. What we're asking you to do is go either a morning or an afternoon and help pass out books to really cute 3rd graders. And they're all really excited to get them. So this gives you a place to sign up, the Sign Up Genius. I'd say we need about 1/3 of the spaces. You're either signing up for 9 to 12 or 1 to 4. And probably meeting, I don't know, a couple hundred 3rd graders who are going to be very excited to see you. Really appreciate your help.
Thank you very much, Carol. And Brian Mayo, I think you have some words to share with us.
Hold the microphone for me. Well, first of all, I want to say how glad I am to be back with everyone again. I'd like to thank you especially for all your thoughts and support during the time. On the left there, you see the culprit, which was my left arm, which, as you can probably see, is pretty extensive spiral fracture. Felt a little pleased with myself. I actually set that myself before anyone else got to it. And it's recovering. I would give myself a C, maybe a B in orthopedics, but it's 60 odd years since I've tried to set anything.
Brian, did you want to go ahead and cover the
First of
recommendation?
all, I'd like to make a donation to the club in support of everything. And so I'll be giving $100 extra to the club. I want to
That's
put in a
wonderful. Thank you.
special notice about the movie One Life, which you may or may not have heard about or seen. It's on at the Fine and the other theater in Livermore. And it's about Nicholas Winton, whom you may remember during JR's pregnancy. Oh boy! Presidency. Winton died, and I talked a little bit about him as a very distinguished Rotarian humanitarian. It's about his rescue of the children. He's known as the British Sindler, a magnificent performance by Anthony Hopkins in it, and a little bit of personal stuff. Nikki was a very, very close friend of my cousin, Ellie, and we knew one another. They knew one another well. I met him on a number of occasions. Anyway, I hope you take the opportunity to go and see that. If I'd been more full of energy and more involved, I'd have tried to organize an outing for us all. Thank you. And, oh, in the manner of Nikki Winton, I'm going to give an additional $200 to Polo Plus in addition to my normal.
That's wonderful, Brian. It's great to have you and Susan back here at the noon meeting. And Beth. Ellen, yes.
I just want to remind everybody that we're going to start our wine socials again next Wednesday, the second Wednesday of every month. We'll have a wine social. It's strictly a social occasion. Please bring your girlfriends, your wives, your husbands, your friends, prospective members. It's for fun. And you buy your own wine. There will be drinks served, and we expect you all to be there. Thank you.
Okay, here's a reminder. Next week, we're going to meet. This Rotary meeting is going to meet at the Bothwell Center. It's music scholarships, and they've got a real piano over there. So we're going to meet over there. The other thing is that I need a couple more people to come and help with just setting up the tables and chairs for that meeting. So if anybody can come, just please be at the Bothwell at about 11-ish. Thank you. What was that? Next week. On Wednesday. Well, 3 people are performing, but we had 29 winners who are going to be introduced.
Thank you, Ellen. And now I would like to ask Dr. Foster and Kathy Coyle to come up to the podium.
Well, hello, everybody. I printed out a nice long bio for Dyrell, and he edited it. So it's much shorter. So now he has more time to talk to you. And I'm very excited to introduce him today. Dr. Dyrell Foster has been an administrator in the California Community College system for more than 20 years. He's a student-centered leader with a proven track record of advancing educational access, equity, student retention, and success. He is collaborative in his approach to implementing institutional practices, behaviors, and policies that provide a positive climate on campus and effectively addresses the diverse needs of students. Being the first in his family to attend college, congratulations. Dr. Foster received his educational doctorate in higher education administration from the University of Southern California. His Master of Science in Counseling, Student Development in Higher Education from the California State University, Long Beach, and his Bachelor of Science in Applied Behavioral Science from the University of California, Davis, where he served as co-captain of the UC Davis Aggies football team. He and his wife, Tammy, have 2 young children, Malia and Dalen. Dalen, please welcome Dr. Dyrell Foster.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. All right. Well, good afternoon. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. My wife, Tammy, and I and our children moved up to Livermore 4 years ago from Southern California. To give a little perspective, I grew up in Vacaville. My father served 28 years in the Air Force. So I did early days at Travis Air Force Base, grew up in Vacaville, and then went to Davis. So I stayed close to home until I went to grad school. And I moved down to Southern California, is where I met my wife, Tammy, who's from Orange County. And when I was offered the position here at Las Positas College, my wife only knows Orange County. And she said, "Where is Livermore, and why are we moving to Livermore again?" And so I give her a lot of credit. We love being in the community. To give you a quick story about our experience here in Livermore and really why why we love where we live, right? So our children, my son goes to Sunset and my daughter goes to Mendenhall. My children are the recipients of the books in 3rd grade. So I want to thank the club for doing that program. It's such a wonderful program. But early on, we moved up and it was right before COVID. I started in February of 2020. And so it was right before COVID, right? And we closed down the college and moved everything online. During that time, though, is when I was teaching my daughter how to ride a bike. And we were living off of College Avenue at the time. And she was learning quickly and was riding pretty fast. And so I had a hard time keeping up with my daughter at this time. And so I was running behind her, and there was a gentleman walking his dog across the street. And he asked, "Is that your daughter?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're having a hard time keeping up with her." I said, "Yeah, clearly she's moving along." He said, "When she finishes at the end of the road, why don't you stop by my house? I'm right here in the court. I have a bike, and I'd be happy to give you a bike that I have in my backyard," right? And so I went there, and he gave me a bike. I mean, isn't that awesome? That's where we live, right? So I remember seeing him walk his dog, and next time I would be riding next to my daughter on the bike, which was great. In that same neighborhood, a few weeks later, we met a neighbor, and I shared with her that I love to cook, I love to barbecue. And she asked if I had a grill. I said, "Yeah, I have a really old grill. I'm trying to get a new one." She said, "I have an extra grill in my backyard. Come on over and you can have it." I'm like, what is happening in Livermore? This never happened in Orange County, ever. And I lived there over 20 years. So to share with you, that's the community we live in, right? It's a caring, gracious community, and all of you are part of that. And that's why we love living here in Livermore. And so just thought I'd offer those stories up. Because it really resonates with us and why we love being in this city. All right, and I'm pressing a button, and I don't know if it's the right button. The big button, yeah. Oh, there we go, okay. So I have this opportunity to share with you a little bit about the college. I'm very proud, one, to live in Livermore, but very proud to be the president of Las Positas College. To give you a little perspective, in Orange County in Southern California, for over 20 years, my commute was over an hour and a half each way. So we lived in Anaheim. I worked at Mount San Antonio College, which was in Whittier, and I would commute. Then I got a job at Rio Hondo College, or Mount Sac was in Walnut, California. I worked at Rio Hondo, which was in Whittier. Before I left, I was working as a vice president in Moreno Valley College, so from Anaheim to Moreno Valley. So it was an hour and a half each way every day. And so I would never make it home for dinner. Now I take Isabel right up the road. It's 7 minutes, and I can have dinner every single day with my family, except when I have board meetings and other events. But it's quality of life. So love living in the community. Just to give you a little perspective about our community and where we live, we know that we live in a highly educated community. Over 55% of the adults that live in the Tri-Valley have a bachelor's degree or higher, which is really high. It's the highest education community within our county. The overall college going rate, of high school completers is 80%. So 80% of our high school graduates in the Tri-Valley go to college. And then 30% of our local high school graduates attend Las Positas College. Our top transfer institution from the college is Cal State East Bay. We are a fairly young community college. 71% of our students are 24 years old or younger. And I say that we're young primarily because we have a wonderful middle college high school on our campus, right? So we have high school students that are college students as well. And we also are offering a lot of our college classes in high school. So we're getting a lot of high school students to enroll in college. As they're earning their high school credits, they're also earning college credits as well. 54% of our students are the first in their family to go to college, and 31% of our students receive some type of financial aid and are considered low income. So we serve a very diverse student population. A lot of numbers and information here. We serve about 7,500 students each semester. Over the course of the year, we serve about 15,000 students at the college overall, if you count fall, spring, and summer. As I mentioned, we're a fairly young student population, and we are considered a Hispanic serving institution, which means that over 25% of our students are Latino or Hispanic, which means that we're eligible for federal grants to support those students on our campus. You'll see most of our students come from Livermore, but we get a significant number of students who travel over the hill from Tracy. And then, of course, we serve our residents from Pleasanton and Dublin and throughout the rest of the Tri-Valley area as well. If you haven't heard, last year, the college was ranked the #1 community college in California. Yeah. Thank you for that. That is, there's 116 community colleges in California, and to be #1 certainly is validating to our faculty, our staff. We've always knew that we were a really good college, but that really validates it for us. But it's also validating to our students and to our community. This year, we were informed that we were ranked the #4 community college in the country. And so, yeah, absolutely. So that just means we are just a great resource right in our own backyard, right? And, these rankings for me are important because they're based on metrics, right? In terms of data from the U.S. Department of Education, the National Science Foundation, but most importantly, it's also based on student surveys and their experiences within our college. And so graduation rates, transfer rates, affordability, resources have informed those rankings. And so we take a lot of pride in sharing those rankings with all of you as well. We are striving to continue to be excellent. So just to kind of highlight some of the work that we're doing, aside from focusing on teaching and learning on campus, is that we are constantly looking at ways to improve our processes and the student's experience, from enrollment through the application process, through financial aid. We're finding ways to streamline our processes and make them better for students and their families. What's really important for me is really making sure that we have an environment that supports teaching and learning, an environment that supports our employees. So we've really put in a lot of time and effort in terms of our campus culture on campus. And then really leaning into our partnerships within the community. And so those are really the priorities that we've engaged in. And I think all of those really support our students, our employees, and our community as well. We are excited because we have some brand new facilities that we've opened up and made available to our students and our faculty. I want to thank all of you and our other community members for supporting a Measure A back in 2016. And so we're starting to see the fruits of that support. We've opened a horticulture facility last spring. We've just recently opened in the fall an academic support and office building, brand new classrooms, computer labs, resources for students. And we've also opened, and we'll have a ribbon cutting in 2 weeks for our public safety, advanced manufacturing, and transportation facility as well. So if you haven't been to the campus lately, I really invite you to come and check out our campus for continuing to grow and offer these brand new state-of-the-art facilities for our students. We are in the process of building, and we hope to have a ribbon cutting next spring for our viticulture and winery technology facility, which will be brand new on campus. And we're engaging with architects and our user group right now to begin the process to develop our STEAM complex, which will be our newest facility on our campus. So we are continuing to grow. Enrollment has increased since COVID, and we're building brand new facilities to really continue to support that growth that we're seeing on our campus. We also take pride in being affordable. So we are what we call tuition-free in terms of a promise program for incoming new students who enroll full-time. We will cover the cost of their tuition for 2 years. So any first-time full-time students can receive free tuition at our college. We also launched a President Scholars Program. We have a college foundation that supports this. And this is a program where we identify 20 incoming graduating high school seniors who want to attend Las Positas College. And through a really strict application process, we identify 20 students, and these students get a full ride for 2 years. Not only do we cover their tuition, their fees, we also cover their textbooks for 2 years as well for their courses. And we know that's the most expensive aspect of their education. So we have launched this program. We have 2 years of students who have been in this program, and we have applications available now. If you know of any graduating high school seniors at 110 Las Positas College, they can look up our President Scholars Program on our website. We have great resources on campus. Basic Needs has been a huge effort on our campus. And so what we do is we provide through our mini market free food, free hygiene products. And it really feels like a market. When you walk in, students can grab what they need each and every day to meet their basic needs. We also have what we call mini market stations placed throughout the college. So students who may not know about the mini market can access food and supplies throughout the campus. And again, this is free for students. And then once a month, we have a market in which it's open to the entire community. We work with the Alameda County Food Bank, and we distribute free food once a month on our campus as well. So a lot of great resources for our students. We really focused on the onboarding process for new students and getting them acclimated to our college. So a number of events. We recently held an open house, a community open house on our campus. So we'll do that every March. It's open to the entire community to learn more about the great programs that we have on our campus. Community colleges look different, and Las Positas College has worked really hard over the last few years to really not just ask students, what do you want to major in? But the question we ask students now is, what career do you want to enter? We're moving away from students receiving degrees and then not being able to use that degree for a job. We want students to earn a degree that is going to lead to a good paying job, ideally here, right, in the Tri-Valley. So we've created what we call academic and career pathways. So every student that comes to Las Positas College will be entered in an academic and career pathway, which means that they're identifying their career. They know what the salary outlook is for that type of career, and we're putting on a path to take the classes that they need to achieve that degree or to transfer. And so we've really restructured our campus to accommodate that process. We're building around success teams. So every student on one of those pathways gets wraparound services. They get access to our counselors dedicated to each of those career pathways as well. So a lot of great work by our faculty and staff. We have a number of program certificates that we offer, as you'll see, and we work closely with the high school districts in ramping up our dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment opportunities for high school students. We have guaranteed transfer programs. So students who attend Las Positas College can identify which college or university they want to attend to. Our counselors will tell them exactly the courses they need to transfer. Our goal is to make sure students don't take classes that they don't need. And so we want to be very intentional about that. We have great transfer programs with UCLA and Cal State Eastway. Cal State East Bay. And most recently, we've created an MOU with UC Merced, and we have a signing event with them later this month. So we're really proud about the partnership and what that will look like moving forward as well. Some career certificate programs. Not every student wants to transfer, and they don't want to take 4 years to get to a career. So we've created and have built upon our existing career certificate programs. These are skills-based programs. So students come in, they learn these skills, and then they can enter the workforce or continue to advance within their field of study. We also have what we call industry credentials, and these are certified credentials, again, skills-based, doesn't require general education. These are really specific to helping employees advance in their career, obtain skills to obtain jobs in these related fields. A lot of great support services and programs. Many of you know we have a wonderful Veterans First program. We get students from all over the region to attend Las Positas College because of our Veterans First program. So appreciate many of you who support that program as well. We have focused on mental health. We know why, we know how important that is. And so we have Stanford, Tri-Valley is the health service provider on our campus. And through their efforts, we make health services available to our students that are free. And so we're continuing to have to find additional offices. We have a lot of graduate students that are doing their internships with us, so we're able to expand mental health counseling on our campus because of that as well. We have a child development center. In case you didn't know, this child development center supports our students and our employees, but also supports the community. So if you know of anyone who's looking for childcare, we have a wonderful program. We also build this in as a lab school. So we're training students to work in the child care industry as well. A lot of great co-curricular programs. As you may know, we have a wonderful music and performing arts program, speech and debate team that wins awards internationally, and a strong journalism and social student media program as well. We feel like a four-year institution when you're on our campus. We have a wonderful, thriving student life and student clubs, a lot of activities on campus. We have athletics. We are planning to expand, I think, our next sport that we're going to roll out is cross country. So we're looking at offering that up hopefully in the fall. And so we're continuing to find ways to expand our athletics program as well. We have an internship and job board. I just passed that. There we go. And so students can find employment opportunities, internship opportunities through our Career Center. If any of you are ever looking for students to work or to have any type of work experience, we have an opportunity for you to engage with our internship and job board as well. A lot of summer programs. I want to thank this club in particular for a grant that we recently received. It's to support our summer program with the Maryland Avenue STEAM Academy. And what that grant will allow us to do, so thank you, $10,000 grant, which will allow us to do is bring 68 of those fourth grade students to our campus during the summer to learn STEM. And so we're really excited about it because if you think about a fourth grade student from that school who may not have ever been to college to have that experience for 1 week with our faculty, being on a college campus, we're planting seeds that this is going to be your college. And so that early outreach is critically important, and especially to get them on our campus. So I want to thank you for your support of that program, and that will launch this summer. And then we have a number of other partnerships that we have with our local labs. We're a proud sponsor of the Innovation Fair with Quest Science Center that's coming up. We also are very proud to partner with Livermore Arts and their cultural series that they present each year as well. So a lot of partnerships that we are engaged in. And then we get a lot of support from our college foundation. I see Lynn Sepala, who's here, who's on our foundation board. So just an opportunity for the community to support a lot of our unmet needs. We're funded from the state. We know that the state budget sometimes is in flux, and we're hearing that there's going to be a state budget deficit on the horizon. And so our foundation really supports scholarships for our students, which are critically important, but also some unmet needs for the institution. And so we've launched our Circle of Excellence Foundation giving program. And then we also, of course, welcome scholarships and planned giving as well. So some great work from our foundation in supporting the college. And with that, I hope there's a few minutes for questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have, but thank you for this opportunity. See a couple of hands over here.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yes.
As you know, robots don't take bathroom breaks. And when you see the force and the power of AI,
Yes.
I mean, it could not keep up with, what is going on, with, humans. How do you coach, people or counsel, whether it's staff, the faculty, and students
Yeah.
who have designed a career path?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, they're now worried about AI, what it's going to do to their careers. What do you do with the faculty and the students?
Yeah.
How do you start amending where they're going to channel back into?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think our challenge as a higher ed organization is keeping pace with careers, emerging technologies, right? And so sometimes we're a little slow moving, right, in those spaces, but we built in some flexibility. I mentioned those career certificates that allows us to be a little bit more nimble. It really comes down to a lot of professional development and education, right? And especially with our faculty. So we invest a lot of time and effort in terms of professional development and making sure that our faculty are kept up to speed on industry needs and emerging careers. And so we're engaged in those conversations constantly. I think our counselors are a big component of that and working with students, right? In terms of informing them what those career outlooks and pathways look like on the horizon. But I think overall, we're embracing AI. We know that it is a tool that students have access to. And so how do we incorporate that in our courses? How do we encourage students to use it in a way that's ethical, that's valid, and that supports education and their teaching and learning in the classroom? So all of those things are constantly conversations that we're having, that we're engaged in. We're engaged in organizations and conferences statewide just to stay on top of those conversations. But I appreciate your question. So thank you. Yes.
Excuse me. 3 things, I suppose.
Sure.
One, thank you very much. Very informative. I had no idea how inclusive or how great this college was.
Oh, thank you.
And I've been here 100 years, so thank you.
Thank you.
So two questions.
Yes.
You talked about giving food away and school supplies, etc. The question, where does that money come from?
Yeah.
That's one question.
Yes.
The other question, sort of aligned with that, is I understand that a few of your students, maybe quite a few, are homeless.
Yes.
And I've read over the last few years, some of them sleep in their cars, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So have you ever thought about building a dormitory to house homeless children that wouldn't be homeless anymore, but to house them on your campus or near your campus? That's
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Great question. So to your first question, which is about the basic needs and the food that we provide and the supplies that we provide. Our resources come from two main sources. One is through a state grant. So the state has allocated money to support basic needs for community colleges across the state. And secondly, we have a great partnership with the Alameda County Food Bank, who we receive donations from in terms of the food, and they provide those donations each and every week. And then lastly, our foundation is really the other way. So we have a number of great community supporters that support that fund for the Basic Needs Center specifically, and we use those resources to get back to students as well. So thank you for that. We have been highly engaged in seeking opportunities to bring housing to Las Positas College. Not only do we serve students who are homeless or have transitional housing experiences, we have a number of international students that come to the college. We have veterans that come to the college, and we know the cost of living here in the Tri-Valley is a challenge itself, right? So how can we find opportunities for affordable housing? Last year, the state put out a grant process to allow colleges to apply for a grant. We did. With that, we did a needs assessment, surveys to kind of get a scope of what the needs are. The state had since then, this past fall, said, thanks for applying for this grant. We realize we don't have the money to fund any new programs, so you're pretty much on your own. We can give you a loan if you need it, but you're pretty much on your own for housing. So that really has created an opportunity for us to really have some conversations internally within our own community. We know that the labs have interns that come in every summer, and they're constantly looking for housing. So there's some great opportunities there. We know the school district has also expressed interest in trying to find affordable housing for their employees. So I think there's some synergy there that we're going to move forward with now that we know the state is not an option, really to seeing what are some needs within our community, and can we pull a group together to start to look at some opportunities. We have the space on our campus and around the campus to explore that. So those talks are ongoing. So thank you for that.
Hi, Daryl. I just
Hi.
wanted to say one thing before I turn it over to Trish here for a
Sure.
question. I came up and saw the musical She Loves Me.
Oh, yes.
And I saw that like 20 years ago in New York. And this production was so wonderful. The kids were so talented and
Yeah.
free and
Yeah.
creative. I just can't say enough good stuff about your program. And also that
Mhm.
you're an all Steinway school for music.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, Trish.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Hi, sorry, I think I pointed my hand to the wrong person, but that's okay. So my question is, as I was looking at what you offer
Mhm.
and the focus on, both moving students to 4-year and having the degree programs that end,
Mhm.
my personal interest is
Yes.
in civic, the social sciences.
Yes.
These don't always translate, so including history,
Mhm.
but history, people who go into public service as a career, our city employees, for example,
Yes.
and just the general need for civic engagement. And so I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit to how that plays out at Las Positas.
Yeah, great question. And we have a very thriving social science program. So whether it be students who are pursuing degrees in history, political science, sociology, psychology, so all those are interrelated. We've been working closely with the city to find opportunities for internships for students, right? So really leaning into those opportunities and supporting students in those pathways as well. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you.
You have a question online from Hank Shea. Hank, go ahead.
Thank you. If you think about future developments, something that you'd really like to do, new programs, new buildings, so on and so forth, but haven't found support for either the money or the community support, what would those be?
Yeah. I think always scholarships are always great, and we have a lot of great scholarships that we offer, right, to students in our community. That always goes directly to students to support their education and support their families. The Basic Needs Center is one that's constantly emerging as a need for us. I think the other piece that we have is our unrestricted funding. So the Las Positas College Fund, which allows us to use those monies to support the institutional goals. So supporting our unrestricted foundation fund is also a big need for us because that gives us the flexibility, right, to use the money as we need as we move forward. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
And with that, I'll close with the bell.
Wait, hold on. Winning raffle ticket for the week. Last four numbers, 1170. 1170 are the last four numbers. Okay. Thank you.